Vietnam aims for 8% GDP growth in 2025. Later on, Vietnamese stock markets remains optimistic ahead of potential upgrade. Good evening and welcome to today's headlines, your go-to bulletin for the most important stories shaping the day. Now, during the Friday government meeting on economic growth, Prime Minister Phie reaffirmed the government's commitment to achieving at least 8% GDP growth in 2025. He emphasized the nation's unified efforts, stating the party has given the directive, the government is aligned, the National Assembly supports it, and the people are behind us. Now we just need to act. The Prime Minister outlined several key strategies, including a focus on innovative thinking, mobilizing public resources for rapid yet sustainable development, and ensuring macroeconomic stability. The government aims to continue addressing emerging issues while pushing for bold economic reforms, ensuring the nation's growth remains stable and robust. Today, during a meeting with leaders from several ministries, Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình emphasized that the draft resolution on financial centers in Vietnam should outline key principles and policies while providing specific details. He urged ministries to consider international best practices and advised the government on issuing decrees to align with global standards. The government plans to submit the resolution to the National Assembly for approval in May. The Deputy Prime Minister also asked Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang City to prepare infrastructure and human resources, while relevant ministries continue refining the draft. Now, by the end of February, localities must complete site clearance and hand over the corridor for the 500 kilovolts Lao Cai-Vĩnh Yên transmission line. This was discussed in an online meeting of the State Steering Committee for the important national main point programs and projects in the energy sector, held this afternoon in Hanoi. The project spans 230 kilometers across Lao Cai, Yên Bái, Phú Thọ, and Vĩnh Phúc, affecting over 2,100 households, with 248 requiring resettlement. The steering committee urged localities to work with investors to speed up progress, secure household agreements, and ensure the site is handed over to complete the project before September this year. Nearly 300 kilometers of expressways are under construction across the Northwest region, gradually eliminating traffic bottlenecks. These developments will serve as new growth drivers, expanding opportunities for local and regional development.
Right after Tet, workers and engineers returned to the Hoa Binh-Sơn La Expressway site. Spanning over 34 kilometers of complex terrain, many packages aim to complete the roadbed before this year's rainy season.
The contractor has deployed sufficient machinery and, with favorable conditions, is on track to meet the schedule.
We have cleared 12 kilometers and will complete the project site clearance in the first quarter of this year.
Currently, 1,700 kilometers of expressways are being built nationwide, connecting 48 provinces and cities. Many of these routes will unlock development in areas previously hindered by traffic congestion.
Hoa Binh has planned to leverage the expressway by developing the Da River Reservoir area for tourism, while designating both sides of the route for residential and industrial zones.
This year, 1,200 kilometers of expressways will be completed, with work starting on 19 new transport projects, boosting growth and ensuring sustainable development for 2026 to 2030.
Vietnam's stock market capitalization and outstanding bonds in 2024 reached $426.8 billion, over 90% of GDP. This may increase further as Vietnam is expected to upgrade from a frontier to an emerging market. This followed discussions on stock market development currently taking place in Da Nang. Today, the Vietnam Securities Commission signed a multilateral memorandum of understanding with the Asia-Pacific Regional Subcommittee of the International Organizations of Securities Commissions in order to boost the market's international standing. Coming up next, Mekong Delta faced deepest salinity intrusion. And groundbreaking policies approved for science and digital transformation. Starting Monday, the Mekong Delta will face its deepest salinity intrusion since the beginning of the dry season, expected lasting until March the 4th. The 4 grams per liter salinity boundary, making water unsuitable for daily use, is expected to extend 4,562 kilometers at the Mekong River mouths, with the Vam Ngo area reaching 6,570 kilometers. 2 more intrusions are forecasted until April. While the 2024 to 2025 dry season will be less severe than in the previous years, the risk of local water shortages persists in areas with incomplete irrigation systems. The National Assembly has approved a resolution to pilot new policies removing barriers in science, technology, and digital transformation. Aligned with the Politburo's resolution number 57, this move sparks confidence and momentum for Vietnam's innovation landscape. More to follow.
A key pilot policy aims to ease financial constraints on state budget spending. Instead of the previous bidding process, a lump sum allocation will now be applied to science and technology projects, streamlining procedures and reducing bureaucratic burdens.
With 200 research topics yearly, our university previously needed 30 staff to manage fragmented tasks. Now, streamlined processes reduce 10 items to 1, simplifying record management.
Another key pilot policy aims to drive groundbreaking research by embracing risk in scientific and technological development. Previously, the absence of this mechanism led scientists to play it safe, sticking closely to initial plans.
With new policies, scientists can prioritize the quality and impact of their research over strict adherence to initial proposals.
Public science and technology organizations will now have greater autonomy in managing finances and hiring personnel, creating more opportunities to attract talent and establish businesses. This change removes legal barriers that previously hindered scientists from commercializing their research.
The Politburo's resolution number 57 was issued in December. In just 2 months, the National Assembly moved to institutionalize Resolution 57, showing strong commitment to advancing Vietnam's science and technology.
By aggressively implementing pilot policies to remove barriers in science, technology, and digital transformation, Vietnam aims to achieve its 2030 goal, boosting science and technology's contribution to economic growth beyond 50% and advancing toward a modern, high-income economy.
Quảng Ngãi is taking coordinated steps to combat illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, including a stricter control over fishing vessels. The Sa Huỳnh Border Guard Station regularly educates and stays in contact with vessel owners, particularly those who haven't returned in years. They currently manage over 600 boats operating in northern fishing grounds that haven't returned for years. Local authorities and coastal communities are combining outreach with investigations to strictly handle illegal fishing activities and enforce regulations. This year, Quảng Nam plans to build and repair nearly 900 houses with a total investment of over $1.2 million. The central government will contribute almost $979,000, with the remainder funded by Guangname's local budget. Specifically for new houses, the support is $2,350, in which $1,880 from the central budget and $470 from the province. For house repairs, the support is $1,175, with $940 from the central government and $235 from the province. Local authorities will allocate extra resources and seek support from organizations, community groups, and families. On February the 20th, the Costa Serena cruise ship carried nearly 3,500 international visitors to Phuoc Island. International tourists will have one day to visit and experience Phuoc services, such as the 3-line overseas cable car, Sunset Town, Grand World Phuoc, Vin Waters, explore the beauty of cultural life, enjoy cuisine, and shop for specialties on the Pearl Island. Thus, from February 14th to 20th, Phuoc welcomed 3 5-star cruise ships carrying more than 8,000 international visitors. And up next is the weather forecast. And that's the end of today's headlines. To watch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or visit our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.